Invisible ships and electromagnetism in 1943? What was the Philadelphia experiment? In 1943, the Navy destroyer USS Eldridge reportedly vanished, teleported from a dock in Pennsylvania to one in Virginia. And then it re-materialized, all as part of a top-secret military experiment. Is there any fact to this fiction? The story of the Philadelphia experiment began with the scribbled annotations of a crazed genius, Carlos Allende, who in 1956 read a book titled The Case for the UFO by science enthusiast Morris K. Jessup. Allende wrote chaotic annotations in his copy of the book, claiming, among other things, to know the answers to all the scientific and mathematical questions that Jessup's book touched upon. Jessup's interests included the possible military applications of electromagnetism, anti-gravity, and Einstein's unified field theory. Allende wrote 2 letters to Jessup, warning him that the government had already put Einstein's ideas to dangerous use. According to Allende, at some unspecified date in October 1943, he was serving aboard a merchant ship when he witnessed a disturbing naval experiment. The USS Eldridge disappeared, teleported from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania to Norfolk, Virginia, and then reappeared in a matter of minutes. The men on board the ship allegedly phased in and out of visibility, or lost their minds and jumped overboard, and a few of them disappeared forever. This strange activity was part of an apparently successful military experiment to render ships invisible. Allende could not provide Jessup with any evidence for these claims, so Jessup stopped the correspondence. But in 1956, Jessup was summoned to Washington, D.C. by the Office of Naval Research, which had received Allende's annotated copy of Jessup's book, and wanted to know about Allende's claims and his written comments. Shortly thereafter, Varro Corporation, a private group that does research for the military, published the annotated book, along with the letters Allende had sent to Jessup. The Navy has consistently denied Allende's claims about teleporting ships, and the impetus for publishing Allende's annotations is unclear. Morris Jessup committed suicide in 1959, leading some conspiracy theorists to claim that the government had him murdered for knowing too much about the experiments. It is not certain when Allende's story was deemed the Philadelphia experiment, but over time, sensationalist books and movies have touted it as such. The date of the ship's disappearance is usually cited as October 28th, though Allende himself could not verify the date nor identify other witnesses. However, the inspiration behind Allende's claims is not a complete mystery. In 1943, the Navy was in fact conducting experiments, some of which were surely top secret, and sometimes they involved research into the applications of some of Einstein's theories. The Navy had no idea how to make ships invisible, but it did want to make ships invisible. In other words, undetectable to enemy magnetic torpedoes. Experiments such as these involved wrapping large cables around Navy vessels and pumping them with electricity in order to descramble their magnetic signatures. According to a man named Edward Dudgeon, invisibility experiments of the questionable kind took place in Philadelphia in August 1943 on both the USS Eldridge and the USS Engstrom. Dudgeon, one of the crew members on the Engstrom, claimed that after the ships had vanished and re-materialized, some of the sailors themselves mysteriously disappeared from a local bar. However, subsequent investigations revealed that the missing crew members had merely slipped out the back door of the bar to avoid punishment for underage drinking. And it's true that the USS Eldridge disappeared that night. It went to Norfolk to pick up ammunition, but was back in Philadelphia by morning.